So composing with pentatonics is real easy to do. I'm only going to be using the black keys on my keyboard. Now, when you load in a sound, let me show you when you saved your sound where it went. So if I want to load my sound in, I'm going to click on the panel here, the window or the option here to load sounds in. You'll see these different things, synths, strings, all that stuff, but you'll also see my preset collection, which allows me to pick those sounds that I saved. So, make sure you have your proper sound, the one you created. You should be proud. And let's put this in. And I've chosen that. So it's all good now. So there's my sound. So now when it comes in, it's going to come in sort of in the middle of the keyboard. Now we're working with bass, right? So we want to lower the octave. Okay, maybe that's a bit much. Okay, let's see here. I like that. Okay, so we're just going to create a bass line as we did on our last project. So I want to make sure I'm on my bass track. I want to make sure I'm in the proper octave. Let me go. You don't need to be in tweak anymore for this. You can have the keyboard visible so you can see which keys to hit for this. Okay, so that's exactly what I want. I'm on my bass track. Now remember, I'm composing on pentatonics. I can use just the black keys. Now I'm choosing to use a minor pentatonic, which means that I want to establish this D or this E flat or D sharp as the tonic. And how do I do that? Well, I have to make sure I keep hitting that so that the listener's ear will pick that up. And again, no listener is sitting there wondering what key you put it in or if you're using pentatonics, but it's a sound you're trying to create. So I have that. Now see, I can work with just these black keys, which is here D, G, H, J, and up to the L. And then if you want to go higher, you have to hit this 1. Okay, so a bass line doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to establish your tonic, and it has to rhythmically work with your drum part. Now you can either play this in. I'm using the computer keyboard to play this in. I'm not using an actual musical keyboard. I'm using the QWERTY keyboard, and or you can put it in with the pencil, the way we did in the earlier part of the semester. So I'm going to make sure that my metronome is on. Okay, this is a good tempo for this kind of music. 120 beats per minute is fine. So I'm going to hit record, and I'm going to put in a bass part. So let's see what we get here. Okay, so you may have noticed I changed my drum part from before. I just didn't like that last one, so I changed it. But I came up with a bass part that not only goes with the drums, but I only used black keys. Okay, I'm keeping it pentatonic, which means that I can create a lead line using the same concept. So let's create a lead doing the same thing. So let's see if this sounds, let me just experiment a moment with some quantization. So I'm just going to select all these notes and go to edit and quantize. It was pretty tight anyway, but let's check it out. Just the black keys. Okay, so unfortunately I put that in my lead part, so I'll leave it there. That's okay. I can switch these. Okay, so let's go here, and I should be able to load in my instrument. So let's see what we have. That's coming in as bass 1. I need my lead. So I have these reversed, but that's all right. Okay, so Remember I created that? Now, that's a pretty thick bass, so I'm probably going to want to stay up here. So I'm just going to come up, just playing around with black keys. You see them here on the, let's move this up. And the reason I'm moving it up is so that I can stay on that middle row of the keyboard. Okay. And you know, your lead doesn't have to be complicated. It could be a real simple rhythmic thing. Let's just try something here. Anything I play works. So I'm really just going to be kind of random about this. So let's move this back, and I'm just going to record something, see if I like it. If I don't like it, I'll undo it and try it again. Let's see if that's any good. It's okay, but it's kind of like almost the same as my bass line. So let me consciously try to make it slightly different. Okay, so I'm going to hit record. Okay, so all I'm going to do is quantize. Because it is a little out of rhythm having used that keyboard. I think this would be better if this was a little lower and bring my drums up a bit. And finally, let me just rename my parts. Okay, anything works when you stick to pentatonics, the black keys. If you wanted to work on a more of a major pentatonic, okay, I rooted everything from the D flat. That's where you would be working. And that's where a lot of this kind of music actually root. It's usually done based on the minor. But if you wanted to base it on the major, you would make the F sharp your root. And that has more of a folky kind of country sound to it, whereas the minor one has more of a dance music, kind of more modern pop music sound.